Ew, ugly, he says. Blah, blah, blah. He mushes me in the head as I walk by. Open the door for me. No, ugly. He keeps on walking. I laugh to myself and shake my head. Punk ass nigga. I mumble and walk into the building. I buzz the door to Kiana's apartment. Who? She shouts almost instantly. Me! Who is me? Summer's stupid? She buzzes me in and I hear the door unlock. The door doesn't open, so I know she walked away for me to let myself in. I open the door and it's kind of quiet aside from the TV. I walk toward the living room. I see Claudia sitting on the couch and she looks startled when she sees me. Oh, hey, Sum. I roll my eyes and keep walking. I walk straight to Kiana's room. She was looking under her bed. I'm going to push you right the fuck under. No! Shush. I didn't think you were really coming. She's about to leave. I was gonna walk her to the bus real quick. I'm going home. I snap. No! Summer, just stay here. I'll be right back. Smells like stank and bitches in here. Kiana starts laughing. You are so stupid. Some of my shirt must have fell down because Kiana hopped up and looked shocked. Bitch. Champion gave you a hickey? Shut up, I spy with my little eye. I didn't think she heard me. Sorry. She smiles and whispers. No. I shout and start laughing. Honestly, I'd kiss on his ass too. He is so fine. I start laughing harder. Shut up. I'll talk to you when you get back. Okay. She slides her feet into her shoe. I'm gonna walk fast. Damn, I don't want to wait with her till the bus comes now. Walk with us. Kiana, I side eye her. Okay, but don't leave. I can't make any promises, bitch. I playfully roll my eyes. Claude, you ready? She shouts from her room. Be back. I love you, Summer. I start laughing and plop myself on her bed and look for the remote. I hear the apartment door close. I turn on the TV and start flipping through the channels. Kiana came back maybe 15 minutes later. She quickly walks into her room, which makes me laugh. You left her at the bus stop. No, saw that shit coming and was like, girl, let's run. You don't want to wait for the next one. I start laughing. We ran, she caught it, and I walked back like a light jog. I start laughing harder. Go get some water before you pass out. Walk with me, bitch. Spill it. I explain everything to Kiana. How are you gonna hide this hickey? Come burn me with a curling iron, I say. We both instantly start laughing. I'm not going to let the shirts be too low. He was feeling on you while kissing on you. She sounds so inquisitive but intrigued at the same time. I mean, he had his hand on me, but not like feeling on me. I don't know how to explain. Bitch, find the words. I am lost for words. Yo, Tavior? She stops talking and looks at me with wide eyes and a tilted head. I know. I know. I cut her off. I feel bad enough. I tried talking to this nigga Tony introduced me to, but the whole time I'm like, I wonder what Champion is doing. She playfully pushes my shoulder. Summer, she says in a whiny tone. I know, I drag out in an exaggerated tone. Then my father finds out. Her jaw drops. I explain that to her. So, if Tavior doesn't kill you, your father will. Got it. We both start laughing. We are gathered here for my best friend's memorial. She stands up and says. I laugh even harder. Don't wish that shit on me. Universe, ignore her, please and thank you. So clearly, y'all go together. No, I won't say yes. Bitch, I would have said yes so quick and picked out my casket at the same time. I start laughing again. Shut up. What's up with you and Dexter anyway? We good. Next weekend we are doing a movie date with Chantel and Elijah. Who? The other dude that was here when you met him. Oh, don't pull a Claudia. Her jaw drops and she starts laughing, which naturally makes me laugh. You ever gonna speak to her again? When hell serves ice water refreshments? I stayed probably for another hour, then walked home when Dexter called her. The next morning, getting ready for school, I find a shirt that covers my collarbone. I fluff my second day curls as best as I can and get ready to get out the door. By the time everyone came in last night, I had no reason to leave my room, and all my mother did was peek to make sure I was there. This morning, naturally, everyone is asleep. I get myself together quickly and head out the door. As I'm walking to the bus, I see Jason, Marcus, Maurice, Sham, Jared, and Storm in a huddle. I walk by and give a quick hello, but try to keep on walking. I don't want to hear nothing about Lauren, Maurice liking me, nothing. Yo, Summer, Marcus says. Marcus? Why you be playing Maurice? I scoff at him and keep on walking. Who wants to hear about this at 7:15 in the morning? Not me. I don't want to hear about it any time of the day, but especially not now. You so mean and bright, Jason says. I wave my hand in a shoo-in fashion and stick up my middle finger. As I get down to the bus stop, it looks like the bus was running late because there were so many people waiting. I knew I wouldn't get a seat unless more than one bus came. We waited 15 minutes and 3 buses show up. Well, damn, an older lady exclaims as the bus pulls up. I look at her and chuckle to myself. As we line up, I motion for her to get in front of me. Thank you, young child. You're welcome. I smile with my reply. When I get to school, I walk to the store. It was kind of early, so I didn't know if anyone was even there. But it was so warm outside, I just stroll and enjoy the warmth of the sun. As I get within eye view of the store, I see Fame talking to Shania. He looks angry and she looks stressed. I don't see Jules and Damien with her. I try to slow my stroll, but Fame sees me as he's talking to Shania. I walk at my regular speed now and walk up to both of them. Hey y'all, what's good, Summer? Fame says. I can tell he was annoyed because he almost never calls me by my name. What's up, Brightness? Shania says as she sits on the crate in front of the store. I want this shit fixed, Fame says in an angry tone. I'm on it, Fame, I'm on it. I get up with y'all. Summer, be here after school, he says and walks toward his car. Okay. I sound confused. He gets in his car and slams the driver's door. He pulls off just as quickly. I don't even want to ask. I say, I don't know what he wants with you. That nigga was yelling at me and looking so sexy at the same time. I burst out laughing, which makes her burst out laughing. You need help. She starts laughing even harder. I almost said, okay, Daddy, when he told you to be here after school. I let out the loudest laugh, and it makes people across the street look at us. Her comment caught me so off guard. As we are laughing, Jules and Damien walk up. Where Fame at? Jules asks. You niggas is late. Shania gets annoyed just as quick. Yeah, I woke up late, my bad, Jules replies. Fuck you niggas, Shania says as she stands up and shakes her head, then walks toward the school. What happened? Damien asks. Shania doesn't reply and keeps on walking. Brightness, what happened? Damien asks. I have no idea. I wasn't here, and when I came, Fame didn't say anything in front of me. Have you spoken to Grams? No, and he wouldn't tell me about this stuff anyway. Fuck, Jules says and kicks the garbage can in front of the store, and it falls over, spilling the stuff inside out. The man inside the store starts yelling at Jules in Spanish. He walks outside with the broom, handing it to Jules. Jules replies in Spanish and walks off, not cleaning anything he spilled. The man looks over us. Say something, Brightness, Damien says. I'm black. That you are not. He sizes me up. Fuck you, I say, laughing. You better take that broom, though, I continue. He snatches the broom and starts cleaning up the mess that was made. Remind me to beat Jules's ass, he says as he sweeps. I start laughing. I'm going to class. Now everyone is fucking studious, and I see that hickey, he shouts as I walk away. When I walk into math class, Champion is sitting there with his book out and copying what's on the board. The girl who sits in front is walking toward him right as I enter the classroom. You look like you had a good weekend, she says to him in a flirtatious tone and smiling. He looks up at her. Yeah, looks past her and over at me. Hi, beautiful. Hi. I sit down. She looks like she has egg on her face, once again, and walks back to her seat. You gotta stop crushing her feelings, I say with a slight chuckle. Ah, you found a shirt, I see. He pulls down the shirt a bit to expose the hickey. At the same time, the girl from the front looked back over at us. I slide my shirt up and giggle at Champion. She rolls her eyes and turns back to the front of the classroom, waiting for the teacher to walk in. Before Champion could say anything, the dean walks in calling Angelo's name. We all turn toward the back where he sits, but his seat was empty. Mr. Abrams walks in looking confused. If Angelo walks in this classroom, my office, the dean says as he walks out looking very annoyed. Mr. Abrams nods and gets the class back in order before everyone starts talking. When the bell rings after class, Champion lets me know he's leaving out for the rest of the day, so he can't have lunch with me. I chuckle because it's cute, but mostly because I like him. He said he would tell me later what he had to do, but it'll be safe. He kisses me on my lips and heads down the stairs to handle his business. I decided not to cut Spanish class and stroll my way to her class. When I walk downstairs to my scheduled lunch period, no one is in our spot. Tony never came to school today. I guess she's with Cruz. I'll call her later to find out. Shania, I know, has to go to class. Court ordered. Jules and Damien, I guess, are fixing whatever Fame was pissed about. I wonder if Champion is somehow tied to this. Would be messy as hell. As if most things aren't messy these days. Just add more on top, but I hope not. I walk toward the lunchroom and look around once I get inside. I see Brielle and her friends and I walk toward their table. Hey, twin, she shouts. Everyone greets me as well. They make room for me to sit down at their table. There are 3 other girls and 1 guy that Brielle is always with. Let me introduce you to everyone officially, Brielle says. This is Claire, Dahlia, Tanique, and Anthony. Claire is brown skinned, about 5'8", not chubby, but not thin either. She has big, dark brown eyes. She has her hair in a half up, half down style. She was loud more times than not. Dahlia is also brown skinned, about 5'1" and slim. She had her hair in a tight bun. She has this nerdy kind of look to her. Tanique is a medium brown skin complexion. She's around 5'5". She has box braids extensions in her hair that just sit on top of her shoulder. She doesn't have the best skin in the world, but what teen does? Anthony is light brown skin complexion. He's around 5'9", and you can tell he tries to keep up fashion-wise. He has a nice shade of medium brownish eye. He stands up and extends his hand. This nigga, Claire says. What? I'm a gentleman, Anthony replies. You only been asking Brielle about her every day for months. I look at Claire and look back at Anthony following the conversation. He looks a little embarrassed but recovers the expression just as quickly. The others at the table, including Brielle, start to laugh. Damn, Claire, don't waste no time. Nah, he was about to ask her name like he doesn't already know it, Claire says back in a very elevated tone. I think you're very pretty, Summer, Anthony says and sits down. Thank you, and nice to meet all y'all. Now, Brielle isn't the only bright one at the table, Tanique says, trying to change the topic. Everyone starts to laugh again. Is her real name Summer Rayne? When you gonna introduce me? Claire says in a mocking tone. Alright, Brielle says while laughing. Anthony is trying to keep his cool, but you could tell he's getting angry. Just don't front, Claire continues. Shut up, Claire, damn! Anthony says. He slams his fist on the table and gets up and walks away. Everyone's eyes get wide in amazement. He really seems upset. I look over and see him kick the lunchroom door as he exits the lunchroom. Claire rolls her eyes. Claire, Brielle says. Brielle? Bitch, why you embarrass him like that? Summer, please excuse all of this. I look at them and half shrug my shoulders. I'll be back. Brielle shakes her head and gets up to go find Anthony. That was messed up, Claire, Tanique says. Why? Every day he asking about Summer. You embarrassed him, Dahlia chimes in. Claire rolls her eyes and starts gathering her stuff. Let me go find this boy and say sorry. Y'all saw, she says and zips up her book bag. She gets up from the table and puts her book bag on her back. See y'all tomorrow, she says and walks away from the table. We aren't usually like this, Dahlia says, almost blushing. It's okay. You could tell Anthony is all forgotten. He don't have to be embarrassed. Okay. She looks as if she's trying to read if I'm being genuine. The truth was, that was quite embarrassing. Claire did not have to do all that. You hang with Jules, right? Tanique asked. Yeah, why? He is so cute. He has a girlfriend. I start laughing. I can't even answer that, and I'm not laughing at you. Just the situation. Oh, she says and looks confused. Oh my God, is it you? She follows up with. Is it me what? I look genuinely confused. Jules' girlfriend or something. Girl, no. Why did you ask that? I saw the hickey on your neck after you laughed. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I left my shirt because I didn't realize it fell. Nah, I'm nothing like that with Jules. We are just friends. Before Tanique can say anything else, Brielle comes back over to the table. Anthony is embarrassed. He cursed Claire out in the hallway. He feels lame. I shake my head in a manner like, oh no, it's okay. I don't think he's lame. He isn't coming back in. Finally, the bell rings for the switch in the classes, and it couldn't come any sooner. Talk about awkwardness.